gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
This was a horrific scene. In almost 32 years of doing this job, I've never seen anything like it.
A 2-year-old boy, 4-year-old girl, and their parents killed in their home in IRONDEQUOIT. We have new information released today after the disturbing discovery over the weekend. The IRONDEQUOIT police chief called the people who murdered this family monsters. And the town supervisor said he authorized the police to do everything under the law to catch them.
Wow. So we have a monstrous crime scene. Very interested to get into this one because, I mean, the country is on fire, guys. It really is. And it's gotten to a point where a lot of people are fearful, and rightfully so, because the powers that be, that being in the Democratic Party, have completely opened up the border and defunded the police and reformed the criminal justice reform and all this kind of stuff. They've done all these changes and moved us into a lot more dangerous America.
Chief investigative reporter Berkeley Breen is live on Knapp Avenue in IRONDEQUOIT. Now, Berkeley, break down what happened for us.
So, Nikki, before the sun came up on Saturday morning, there was a 911 call about a fire inside the house. And when the firefighters got to the house, they were told there were people inside. And so because of the hour, the first place they searched was up on the second floor in the bedrooms. Then they searched the first floor, where you see those balloons outside the front door. But it's when they got to the basement is when they found the children and the parents dead.
Wow.
The fire chief said there were several fires burning in the house, which they put out. The police chief said this was a targeted crime. But he also said they've never had a domestic trouble call to this house or any call to this house. He said when they found the bodies, they knew right away that this was a murder scene. The police chief said the fire didn't help the investigation, but didn't necessarily hurt it either. They were able to go through the house to collect evidence.
We wanted to make sure that we went floor to floor and didn't miss any piece of information that needed to be collected to ultimately bring these monsters to justice.
Chief, any idea who these monsters are?
At this point, no. But obviously we have a lot of leads that we're working.
We're a great community. We're a safe community. And these miscreants, I've given my authority to the police to use every legal method possible to hunt them down and give this family justice.
So we have a family of 4 completely X'd out, deleted, murdered, their lives cut short by someone who the police are trying to locate. And when you have an individual that's capable of such violence, it puts the community on alert, because you never know who these people are.
The IRONDEQUOIT fire chief says they're still working to figure out where and how the fire started. Nikki, let me take a moment to read to you the names and the ages of the family members who were murdered here. The father was Frame Ubaldo, 30 years old. The mother was Marangele Moreno Santiago. She was 26. Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno was their 4-year-old girl, and Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno was their 2-year-old boy. The family asked me today not to share the photos of those children. But when I was at the home today, I spoke to the godmother of the children, and she told me, I'm coming to reality right now, but it's still a shock. Like, I lost my best friend, I lost my godkids. Nikki?
Unbelievable. I mean, your heart breaks for anybody who knew this family. Berkeley, you said the police chief said that this is the worst thing he's ever seen. I know he's been on the job more than 30 years. Do they know how the family died?
He says they do, but they're not sharing that information. Police usually do not. And part of it is discretion to the family, but the other part is that the only other people on Earth who know are the killers. And so in the course of the investigation, if they hear somebody talking about those facts, that's a clue to the police.
Important to hold some of that information private. Berkeley, thank you for your coverage.
It's been 3 days since a family of 4 was found dead in their burning Irondequoit home, the victims of a homicide. A 911 call came in just before 5:30 Saturday morning for the report of a house on fire, only to find 2 parents and 2 young children dead. Investigators spending the past several days sifting through evidence and going door to door asking neighbors for any information. Loved ones are now remembering the victims. Carly Miner reports.
A makeshift memorial of flowers, candles, and teddy bears continues to grow outside of the Knapp Avenue home.
He's just going to be missed. So, I'm just thinking about him today.
Tim Lucy has known one of the victims for several years.
Family came to my house back in 2016 when I was thinking about going to work for the company he was working for. I couldn't ask for a better kid. I loved him.
Autopsies will determine how each of the 4 died. Meeting with reporters on Monday, Irondequoit Town Supervisor Andre.
So you can see how impactful this family was to their community. Obviously, contributing, hardworking. The man had a job and he was putting on other people in the neighborhood for the job. You can see that big old smile, beautiful children, lovely wife, and all of that has come to an end. And there's somebody or somebody's responsible for this heinous crime, and we're gonna get into who is really responsible.
4 died. Meeting with reporters on Monday, Irondequoit Town Supervisor Andre Evans shared his thoughts on the quadruple homicide.
We were heartbroken. Our hearts go out to the families, go out to their friends, go out to the neighbors for suffering through this horrific event. And we will not stop until justice is served.
Family and friends suffering the tragic loss of 30-year-old Fraime Ubaldo, his girlfriend 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno.
Just always smiling. Never knew him not to come into work or my house or whatever gathering we went to. He was always smiling, always friendly. He was like my son. I miss him.
Reporting in Irondequoit, Carly Miner, 13 WHAM News.
If you have any information that can help police in this case, call Crime Stoppers at 423-9300. You can remain anonymous.
Tonight, loved ones and members of the community are gathering in Irondequoit to remember the family of 4 that was found dead Saturday inside their burning home. Police say they were the victims of a homicide, and authorities are still searching for a suspect. 13 WHAM's Natalie Calzatoni live from that vigil for us tonight on Knapp Avenue. Natalie, good evening.
Good evening, Matt. I am here at the vigil on Knapp Avenue, and as you can see behind me, friends, family members, and neighbors coming together to honor the victims of the tragedy. Police say 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago, 30-year-old Fraime Ubaldo, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno, were found dead inside their home on Knapp Avenue Saturday and are the victims of a homicide. A memorial with flowers, teddy bears, and photos has been growing outside the Knapp Avenue home, and one neighbor tells me the tragedy has touched the community, and he and his family placed teddy bears outside the home to pay their respects.
The tragedy that took place, and then looking at the 2 little kids, seeing the pictures of them, you know, we had to come over here and just pay the respect to them. You know, the family, you know, I mean, it's terrible, you know, and it's kind of like unbelievable, especially right almost around the corner from where you live, you know. I mean, just don't understand it.
And dozens of people coming out tonight to honor the victims. No arrests have been made, and the investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 423-9300. Reporting live from Irondequoit, Natalie Calzatoni, 13 WHAM News. Matt.
From your breaking news and weather authority, this is 13 WHAM News at 6.
Horror and heartbreak in Irondequoit. 2 young children and their parents all found dead in their burning home. Police calling it an unthinkable case of homicide.
When you murder innocent children, there's no excuse for it.
Good evening. I'm Karen Edwards. Matt is off. Police releasing new information today on the tragic scene in Irondequoit where a family of 4 was found dead. We have team coverage tonight as we hear from family, friends, and police amid the ongoing search for answers. Irondequoit police becoming emotional today and announcing a family of 4 were found dead in their burning home on Knapp Avenue Saturday morning. The victims, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno, 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno, and their parents, 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago and 30-year-old Frame Ubaldo. A family and community in disbelief tonight as police are urging anyone with information to please come forward. We begin with 13 Wham Stephen Pappas. Police giving powerful statements and becoming emotional about this case today, Stephen.
Yeah, Karen, good evening. Irondequoit Police Chief Scott Peters emotional at today's press conference as we got a first real update from Saturday's scene that we now know resulted in the death of a family at their home on Knapp Avenue. A crime scene unlike any other for Irondequoit Police Chief Scott Peters.
This was a horrific scene. In almost 32 years of doing this job, I've never seen anything like it.
Shock and horror from the Irondequoit community. A family of 4 victims of a homicide in their own home.
This is Labor Day. It's supposed to be a joyous day, spending time off with your family. This family doesn't have that anymore. This family is forever going to be, half their family's gone in an instant.
Irondequoit Police providing an update on the investigation and naming the 4 family members killed. 30-year-old Frame Ubaldo, 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno, and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno killed early Saturday morning.
Wow, man. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. This is what we've come to.
Chief Peters saying these actions are inexplicable.
Adults do what adults do, but kids are innocent. So take that for what it's worth. Mom was being a mom, protecting her children. Dad, I can't say, but nobody should ever be able to do this or be able to think that they could do that to a child.
The chief saying that his department is dealing with a lot at the moment between the investigation and trying to keep a community together, and says those responsible will be caught.
We wanted to make sure that we went floor to floor and didn't miss any piece of information that needed to be collected to ultimately bring these monsters to justice.
Now, this is an ongoing investigation with more information expected in the future. Anybody who can help police is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 423-9300. Karen?
Stephen, thank you. Our Carly Miner spoke with family and friends today who shared more about the tragedy. Carly.
Yeah, Karen, loved ones are now desperate for answers after first responders found the victims early Saturday morning. A heartbroken family enduring an unimaginable loss. 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno, 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno, their 26-year-old mother, Marangeli, and 30-year-old Frame Ubaldo were all found dead inside their burning home on Knapp Avenue early Saturday morning. Police say they were victims of a homicide. Relatives say the couple had been together for nearly 6 years and were parents of the 2 children. Luis Moreno is the father of 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago. In a statement, Luis says, "She was a sweet girl, very dependable, a great mom. Everything was for her kid, you know." Police say the initial call came in as a house fire just before 5:30 Saturday morning. Investigators have spent the last 2 days going in and out of the home, going door to door asking neighbors for any information. The godmother of the 2 children, Miss Weeks, is Moreno Santiago's best friend. She got choked up talking about the family. In a statement, she says, "I'm like coming to reality now, but it's still like kind of a shock. Like I lost my best friend. I lost my godkids. I've been asking myself why? Why them? Why them? I just don't get it." A memorial with flowers and teddy bears are growing outside the home on Knapp Avenue.
It's a little bit scary. The police say, don't worry, it's an isolated incident, which it kind of seems like it probably was, but don't worry is kind of not a lot of comfort for us.
Neighbors are reacting after a family of 4 was murdered in their home in IRONDEQUOIT. Tonight, for the first time, we're able to show you some of the victims. This is the mother, along with her 2-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter. They were found murdered Saturday morning with their dad in their basement. No arrests have been made. News 10 NBC's Marcia Augustin joins us live from IRONDEQUOIT PD. Marcia, you spoke with family members?
Yes, I did, Nikki, but they did not want to get on camera, as you can imagine. They are devastated and emotional over the horrific death of the loss of their loved ones. And many neighbors that I spoke with are also devastated and scared.
And to tell you the truth, I've actually lost sleep over this. It's been on my mind heavily. Not because it breaks my heart.
Very sad. Don't have words to explain the sadness and the violence that is occurring.
David Marionetti has lived in the Knapp Avenue neighborhood all his life. He has never seen this type of police presence or heard of anything this horrific. His heart breaks for the family who lost their loved ones in this quadruple murder.
And this has really, really taken a toll on this community, and every community that has experienced this type of crime, this level of violence. They feel that, and they want answers. They want to know why. They want to know how. They want to know how it could have been prevented, how to stop it from happening in the future. And I think we're going to get that answer very soon.
The family gathered today and left stuffed animals and balloons at the front doorstep of the home where the bodies of Fraime Ubaldo and Marangely Moreno Santiago were found early Saturday morning, along with their children, 4-year-old Evangeline and 2-year-old Sebastian.
It could be anybody. Nobody's caught. So whatever monster did this, or monsters did this, they're still here. Maybe they took off. Maybe they're our next door neighbor. Maybe they're still in the neighborhood. So it's scary.
Samuel Rivera has lived in the neighborhood for 26 years. He lives steps away from where the family was killed, but says he didn't hear anything.
2 little children that they don't know nothing. All they know how to do is play. To me, they look like a good family. They come out to the porch and they do their little, get together, and they talk to me all the time.
Wow.
One day they invite my granddaughter for a birthday party.
Another neighbor who didn't want to be identified on camera is still in shock and says she prays for justice for the family.
I just hope that the person that did it pays for it.
The IRONDEQUOIT police chief says this is the worst thing he has ever seen. And he's been in law enforcement for 30 years. They are working on leads but haven't made any arrests yet. In IRONDEQUOIT, Marcia Augustin, News 10, NBC.
And Marcia, has the family made any funeral arrangements yet?
Not as yet, Nikki, but they do have a GoFundMe to help raise funds for those funeral arrangements. And we'll have that information on our website at WHEC.com.
Just a heartbreaking story. Thank you, Marcia.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Well, a community in mourning tonight as friends and family remember the 4 people who were found dead at a home on Knapp Avenue in IRONDEQUOIT earlier this month. Gio Battaglia attended a vigil for that family tonight. He joins us now in the studio. Gio.
Teresa, tonight that community laid down toys, lit candles, and placed photos of the family on the steps of that Knapp Avenue home.
Today we don't say a goodbye, we say until we meet again, because the Lord allows us to meet them one more time.
Tonight's vigil for the family found dead on Knapp Avenue Saturday, led by prayer.
In the midst of what's going on and this sad tragedy, we can assure you that we have a God who's willing and able to bring us a comfort in a time of need.
Family and friends of 30-year-old Frame Ubaldo, 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno, and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno, emotional as they continue to come to terms with the unexpected death. Irondequoit police responded to the home for a fire. When crews went inside after, that's when they found the 4 bodies. The police chief called it a homicide, one of the worst he's seen in his career. I talked with one neighbor off camera tonight. She told me she remembers seeing the family walk up and down the street frequently, always joyful, always together. She said she was heartbroken Saturday when she found out they had been killed, agreeing with the message of tonight's prayer.
The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
And the godmother of the children killed has created a GoFundMe for the family of the victims to help with travel costs. I did also check in with Chief Scott Peters with Irondequoit Police. He told me there are no updates on this investigation at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. Teresa, back to you.
From your breaking news and weather authority, this is 13 WHAM News Midday.
Breaking news this midday, a man is now in custody facing charges for the deaths of an Irondequoit family nearly 2 weeks ago. Irondequoit police accused 34-year-old Julio Cesar Pimentel Soriano of being
Julio Cesar Pimentel Soriano. What are the odds that this guy is an American citizen? I don't know. What's the over-under on that? I mean, these stories write themselves. This is another example of Kamala's bloody border. At first it was Biden's bloody border, but he's going nap time now. So it is Kamala's bloody border that she not only inherited, but actually was she was given the responsibility of the border czar, which the mainstream media is trying to take away from her now, when they initially crowned her with that title. So this woman, if you vote for her, she's going to completely destroy the country. She's going to continue to enable these illegal aliens and these people who are absolutely out of their minds, insane, violent, murderous, third world trash. She's going to keep allowing these people into the country. And it's absolutely despicable. They have blood on their hands. These super illegal alien burrito gremlins are on demon time.
behind that heinous attack. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Joseph. According to investigators, Soriano came here illegally and is wanted for another murder.
Wow.
In a release.
So he's wanted for another murder. Another one. So not only did he kill this family of 4, but he's also killed before, and he will probably, most likely, kill again. You know, if he wasn't stopped by these brave officers who ran his behind down. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's really setting a negative tone for immigrants in general, because now it's like Americans are at this point, we're like, look, we don't want to deal with no immigrants at all, let alone illegal immigrants. But at this point, it doesn't really seem like we have much of a choice.
Irondequoit police say the suspect is from the Dominican Republic and traveled to Puerto Rico and got fraudulent New York identification, allowing him to travel to the U.S. According to officers, Soriano killed Frame Ubaldo, Marangeli Moreno Santiago, Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno, and Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno in their house on Knapp Avenue. The family was found dead in their burning home. This midday, Soriano is in court to answer to those charges. Officers say they are still working to find more people wanted in connection to the incident, and that more information will be provided when available.
From your breaking news and weather authority, this is 13 WHAM News at 5.
A man is now charged with murdering a family of 4 in Irondequoit.
A major break in this horrific case, and police believe others are involved.
And notice how they have no picture, no mugshot of this guy. Absolutely ridiculous.
Heartbreaking discovery of 2 children and their parents, all found murdered in their burning home on Knapp Avenue, a case that left loved ones, the police, and the community in shock.
Now, less than 2 weeks later, an arrest. The suspect also allegedly wanted for murder in the Dominican Republic and using a fake ID to make his way into the United States.
And the investigation is far from over. Police searching for other people wanted in this case. We have team coverage on this evolving investigation as police urge anyone with information to come forward following this major arrest. Good afternoon. I'm Karen Edwards.
And I'm Stephen Pappas. Matt is off. The family of 4 found stabbed to death in their burning home on Labor Day weekend. Under arrest tonight, 34-year-old Julio Cesar Pimentel Soriano. He's accused of killing Jaime Ubaldo, Mirangeli Moreno Santiago, and their 2 young children, Evangeline and Sebastian. Today, burial services were held for the mother and her children in Puerto Rico.
Police calling this case one of the worst they have ever seen. In the days after the killings, the community gathered in memory of the family as authorities worked to find a suspect. We begin our coverage with 13 Wham's Natalie Calzatoni and how police believe the suspect is not the only person involved in this case, Natalie.
Karen, Stephen, the suspect was taken into custody on September 7th and is facing murder charges, accused of killing the family of 4 in their Irondequoit home. Police now trying to locate additional individuals wanted in connection to this horrific crime. 34-year-old Julio Cesar Pimentel Soriano of the Dominican Republic is charged with second-degree murder in the deaths of 30-year-old Jaime Ubaldo, 26-year-old Mirangeli Moreno Santiago, and their children, 4-year-old Evangeline and 2-year-old Sebastian. A crime that shocked the community.
It seems like this family was very well liked and very active in their community. So obviously my condolences go out to their family, friends, and their neighbors who had to suffer through this.
According to the felony complaint, Soriano is accused of using a sharp object to fatally stab each victim in the neck and chest multiple times. Their bodies discovered during a fire at their Knapp Avenue home on August 31st.
Obviously, the allegations are troubling. They're difficult to deal with. They're difficult to see.
Police now trying to locate other individuals in connection to the deaths.
We do believe that there is at least one other actor that Irondequoit police is currently looking for. At this point, I can tell you that it does appear that he does have ties to this community in addition to ties to countries abroad.
Investigators say the suspect, who also went by the name Rafael Jose Vargas, is originally from the Dominican Republic and is allegedly wanted in that country for a 2019 murder.
So, what did Trump say? They're sending their murderers here? Yep, pretty much.
The DA's office could not confirm those details. Police say it appears Soriano entered Puerto Rico to obtain fraudulent New York State ID, which allowed him to travel to the United States.
At this point, I can't tell you if he's here legally, illegally, or how long he's been here.
Duckles tells me the relationships of everyone involved is still under investigation.
I think that the community, the direct community in that neighborhood should be rest assured that I don't think that this was something random that happened. I can tell you that I do think that there is a motive, though what that motive is, we're still looking into, and I can't tell you what that is at this point in time.
This matter has been waived to a grand jury. Soriano is being held without bail. Anyone with information is asked to call the Irondequoit Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 423-9300, and you can remain anonymous.
Now, the shock of the murders resonating deeply in loved ones, friends, and many others. The community hosting a vigil and balloon release for the family last week. 13 Wham's Carly Miner continues our team coverage as friends learn of this arrest. Carly.
Yeah, Karen, family members and friends of the family killed in their home now feeling a sense of relief following today's announcement of arrest in the case. Knapp Avenue is known to be a family neighborhood, but neighbors tell me what happened on August 31st impacted how some feel about that.
Just having a hard time, believing that this great kid that I knew and loved, for that matter, him and his family being killed this way was just, it's unacceptable.
Tim Lucy has been a friend of Fryme Ubaldo for nearly 8 years. Ubaldo worked for Lucy. Residents up and down Knapp Avenue declined to talk with us, saying they were afraid after hearing how the family died.
It became reality because they had a nice large body poster picture of Fry at the front with his little kids. So I think that's when it really hit me that it was real.
Hearing the name of the person accused of murdering his friend and his family was unsettling.
Actually, my boss sent it to me this morning, and I opened it up and I got chills.
The suspect's name, one that's unfamiliar to Lucy.
Relieved, but yet kind of scary, on who this person was and how he got here. Just a scary thought.
Lucy recalls the memories the pair has made together since first becoming friends.
He was kind of my go-to kid. I watched him grow and develop. He's been at my house numerous times. My wife loved him. The kids knew him. It's a tough loss for everybody.
The memorial outside the Irondequoit home continues to grow. Neighbors saying they will forever remember the family that lived on Knapp Avenue. Lucy attended Fryme Ubaldo's funeral service with family and other friends on Wednesday. Karen?
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.